Guys, it's Rachel and I'm back with another video. It has been getting super hot here in Korea and I'm actually out in my terrace and the sun is shining like crazy today. It's gonna hit around 85 degrees, so it's definitely, we're getting an early summer. And I'm almost done with school. I have about a week and a half left till finals, and then I'm finished with college, which is really surreal and overwhelming to think about, you know. And I feel like college was kind of like my security, and you know, where it's justifiable to make mistakes because, you know, you are young and that's an excusable excuse. To kind of step out of my comfort box and really, you know, be an actual adult, it's just a tad terrifying. Oh my gosh, the sun is like in my face. I can't even open my eyes. So as you can see in this video, by the title of this video I should say, it's going to be talking about some of the experiences that I had as an English teacher in Korea, and to kind of give you some advice before, or some sort of information before you come to Korea if you do have an interest in teaching English as a second language in Korea. So my main purpose in coming to Korea wasn't to teach. It was actually because my mom wanted to further her business in Korea, so I kind of just tagged along. And I grew up in the States, but I've been living in Korea for almost 5 years now, and during that time I've had quite the experience with teaching English as a part-time job rather than a full-time job. So a lot of people want to come to Korea to teach English because it has a lot of advantages. And if you know, some, very few these days, some even gives you the advantage of accommodation like housing and free plane ticket, and the pay is a little bit higher than what you would be paid in the States. But because it's become so highly, because it has such highly, you know, gained advantages, a lot of people, you know, want to start coming to Korea to teach English. And so it's been getting really competitive to find jobs in the English education area. So to kind of give you a little background of the places that I've worked in. Okay guys, I had to change like angles because the sun was like in my eye. I think this is a better angle, but yeah, like I was saying, I worked in an English nursery academy, a regular academy, as well as tutoring, and I'm currently working as a part-time teacher at a study kind of group, which is a bit more casual rather than English academies. And my mom she runs a couple academies, which includes the subject of English. So I've seen a lot of how, you know, I've been aware and I've been surrounded by how, you know, English education is taught in Korea. Knowing English fluently obviously it's not equivalent to being able to teach the language well. Number one, you have to be excellent at grammar, because the Korean grammatical system is completely the opposite of the English grammatical system. So to give you kind of an example is, you have to teach a basic grammar sentence, as in verb comes after be verb, and then like subject, object, objectives, verbs, adjectives. Like, these are basic stuff that, you know, they kind of, you know, we all kind of, you know, but they get really into it and they kind of formulate everything into like kind of like math formulas. So it's not really like you can't come with the expectation of like wanting to teach English just by talking to them, because that's not at all how it goes. Yeah. So you definitely have to be extremely excellent and proficient at English grammar. Number two, some people come to Korea thinking that they don't need to learn the current language of Korean. And because you're teaching English and you're going to probably be surrounded with people that are, you know, English speakers and English teachers and so on. But I think just out of the respect of the country, I think you should learn a basic, at least survival Korean, survival language, which, you know, we sometimes call like the taxi language, where you're able to get on a taxi and be able to communicate to where you're going to the taxi driver. And I think it's really important to be able to, you know, kind of have that basic language down. Generally be worried about not being able to get around just because you're not proficient in the language of Korean, because like I'm telling you, if you go to Itaewon or actually anywhere in Seoul now, there's foreigners everywhere, and it's crazy how much foreigners have, you know, increased over the last 5 years since I've been here. So a lot of the you know, the store names and a lot of the restaurants, like the billboard and stuff, they would all be translated to English as well. So you don't really have to worry about not speaking the language at all, but I do advise that you do learn a little bit of the basicness of the language. Number 3. So, like I mentioned before, the competitive rate of learning Korean, the competitive rate of teaching English has increased tremendously. So you definitely want to explore your options. Maybe you want to, there's different types of teaching English. There's English communication, business English, teaching like TOEFL, TEPS, SATs even. Yeah, a whole variety of ways of subjects that you can teach English, but I feel like you should definitely get your qualification of TESOL, which in some areas aren't required, but it'll definitely give you that boost of being like the first one selected. And these days, like I mentioned before, I'm working in an English study group, which, like I said, it's very much more casual than academies. We don't really focus too much on the grammatical part, so it's definitely more recommended towards the students are targeted for those who are kind of aware of the basic grammatical systems and they can kind of communicate a little bit, so that, you know, I don't have to be really digging deep into the basicness for them. So I'm able to teach them communications, maybe some expressions, slangs, and idioms that, you know, we normally kind of use in the States. And those are, like I said, it's a much more casual setting, so it's not as complicated to teach, but you don't really have that much advantages because it is really casual. So yeah, but those are really kind of being in the scene these days, and there's a whole lot of Facebook ads about it, and I'm actually in one. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't really like that information filled because I'm not a full-time worker, but I do know a good chunk of people in this business, and you know, 80% of them really enjoy their time here. So I would definitely recommend it and give it a shot, and if you don't like it, I mean, you can always go back, right? So I hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!